Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Zebu Nation, and today I want to talk to you about demonetization, a subject that has been much talked about in the last 24 hours. And you know, I've watched a few videos from content creators around the web, most notably Loki Doki from the Football Manager community, and of course Jim Sterling, the I don't exactly know how you describe Jim Sterling. He's a video game commentator slash journalist, and they've each had their own points of view on the subject, but I want to talk to you from the point of view of someone whose channel has in fact been demonetized. So first of all, we're going to get a start with our game here, Jetamero, Hero of the Universe. Use this game as the backdrop because it is incredibly colorful. The soundtrack is incredibly lively, and so it'll give you something to look at and listen to while I sort of drone on about this topic. Anyway, time to get back to it, says Jetamero. So yeah, demonetization. My channel has been or will be demonetized in the next 30 days. And I forgot how this game works, honestly. And in the next 30 days is an interesting time because in the past YouTube has just sort of put out these statements and had them go into effect immediately, and it has caused a lot of problems with people. It's caused a lot of people to wonder about their status and what's going on, and they haven't been able to prepare for anything. They haven't been able to make any changes in their own content accordingly. So I think this is a decent move on behalf of YouTube in terms of giving people time to have this take effect and to do something about it, honestly. They put in their email that you've got 30 days to reach their new threshold. Now, what is their new threshold? If you haven't heard before, it's a dual threshold of 4,000 hours of watch time in the last year to go along with 1,000 subs. Now, my channel is very small, very, very small, and it's in what they call the 90% of accounts that are affected by this move, meaning that basically we make no money from YouTube anyway. We are monetized, but our videos essentially make no money. They say less than $2.50 in the last month, and that's about right. I'll be honest with you. But this threshold to someone like me, to my channel, is pretty much unreachable without a lot of extra work, a lot of extra effort. Because what I have right now is I have a little less than 100 subscribers, and I have a little more than 1,000 hours of watch time in the last year. So I would need to quadruple my watch time, and I would need to, multiply my subscribers by 10, which is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of effort. You have to put a lot of time into it. And essentially, what it feels like to me, what this is doing, is it's making it so that part-time creators, hobbyist creators, are essentially cut out of the YouTube funding. So it's going to be only people who look at YouTube as a job and as something that takes full-time commitment, hours and hours of time. And that's just something that I'm probably not going to do as somebody who has a full-time job. Unless I'm going to look to quit my job and start up YouTube, it's just not going to happen. So in many ways, it's not going to affect me much at all. But what I have noticed from my channel in terms of being monetized, I haven't been monetized for that long, only a few months. Maybe the last I want to say less than 6 months my channel has been monetized. And in that time, I've made exactly $0 from YouTube. They haven't sent me a check or put anything in my accounts or anything at all. So it's not really monetarily where I'm losing out. Where I think I'm going to be losing out is in terms of views and in terms of exposure. Because in the last however many months, 4, 5, 6 months that I've been monetized, my views have grown and my subscribers have pretty much doubled. So what I worry about is that YouTube is going to push everything, all their views, all their calculations are going to go towards monetized videos, and now they're cutting out, a vast number of people from actually getting those views and getting those subscriptions, those potential subscriptions anyway. So as Jim Sterling put it, the rich will get richer and the poor will stay poor because, it's sort of a catch-22. You need views to get monetized, but monetization helps you get views. So that's what I worry about as a small creator with this monetization. But I can see where YouTube is coming from. They don't want to honestly be nickeled and dimed to death by, all these hundreds and thousands of channels that are making almost no money. But almost no money is not no money. And so if it all starts adding up to YouTube to the point where, they're spending a lot of money for not a lot of benefit for them or even for the creators, honestly, then what's the point other than to help them go out of business quicker? It's kind of like credit card transactions, when you go to your local small corner store and they say you got to have like minimum $5 to use a credit card, something like that. It's because it's just not worth them for the credit card fees to process the transaction, and it's kind of working out the same way for YouTube. They're not. It's not worth it for them to have to go through all of this effort to check and see if your videos should be monetized or not. If your content is worthy of being monetized. So I can see where YouTube is coming from. I'm not upset about it per se. It's one of those things where you had something and someone's taking it away from you, so you're like, not happy about it. But I wouldn't go out and say, oh, I'm upset about it, I'm mad about it, or anything like that. It's just I wonder what smaller creators will be able to do going forward to, help up their views and help up their subscriptions, other than putting in, way too many hours. Loki Doki from the Football Manager community, he mentions how many hours he puts in, 50, 60-hour weeks, which is, that's a full-time job. I put in, 5 to 7 hours maybe a week. And you can see the difference in our channels, obviously. But it's, it's one of those things that you just have to think about, you have to deal with and understand where you're at as a channel and where you want to go as a channel. And if it's if you want to get to those heights where you're actually doing this full time, then you're going to have to put in the effort beforehand. It isn't one of those things where you're going to be able to get the views and get the monetization and then go full-time. You're going to have to make the leap first, in my opinion, and spend the hours. And maybe, it makes it a little bit more risky, in my opinion. It makes it more of a leap of faith. You can't have a sure thing and say, well, my YouTube channel has blown up, so I'm going to quit my job. It's going to have to be the other way around. We say, I'm going to have to quit my job so that I can try and make my YouTube channel blow up. And I'm not sure how many people... Oh, I just destroyed that entire city. I'm very sorry. Did not mean for that to happen. Excuse me, pardon me. So I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so it's going to have to be a leap of faith. You're going to have to work, I think, much harder to get more views. And for some people, they're going to say, well, that's just how it is, how it should be. People who do the work should be rewarded. But it also means that people who, don't want to take the risk, don't want to sort of, possibly ruin their, maybe not ruin their future, but ruin their current prospects in order to chase a YouTube dream, it might be less likely to do that. So anyway, I don't know how helpful this is going to be to the discourse. I just want to say I don't think many smaller YouTubers like myself will be too incredibly mad or incredibly upset. YouTube has been, pretty decent about it. They are letting you keep most of the benefits of being a YouTube partner even after your partnership gets terminated in 30 days. So that's good. That's good of them to do that. They could have just cut people off and said, well, you're not in the program anymore. You don't get any of the benefits, like the billboards at the end of your videos or the ability to schedule videos or anything like that. They could have cut people off from that, but it doesn't look like they're going to. They still could. But I think for the most part, this is a move to cut down them having to check on all of these monetized and demonetized videos, because they had that 1,000 view threshold anyway, right? Ooh, what's this? What's this golden ring? No, I lost it. I missed it. They had that 1,000 view threshold anyway. If your video got demonetized, they theoretically weren't going to look at it at all until it reached 1,000 views. So I think they sort of looked at that and said, well, you know what? If we don't consider a video with less than 1,000 views something worth our time, if it gets demonetized, why monetize them at all in the first place, I guess is the question. And they answered that, which is they're not going to. So there it is. There's my demonetization rant, if you want to call it that. It's basically going to have hopefully no effect on me. I don't think I'm going to reach the 1,000 subscribers. I haven't even reached 100, so that's a long ways to go in 30 days. But who knows? Maybe dreams really do come true. Whatever. Until next time, until some other video. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.